and we're here on Facebook Live. It is CAO Offers Day, and here to answer our questions we have career guidance expert Andre Harper. Thanks for joining us. And also with us to answer your questions about the CAO, but also about accommodation, other student welfare issues, we have the incoming DCU-SU, that's difficult to say, Vice President for Welfare and Equality, Aisling Fagan. Aisling, you're very welcome as well. Andre, I guess we'll turn to you first because it is CAO Offers Day.
Sure.
So what are the headlines this morning? What courses are up, what courses are down, etc.?
Okay, well, probably the great news for students is that some courses are actually down. Other courses are up. Maybe we'll start with the up ones. Basically, the more practical courses like engineering and architecture. We have to bear in mind, though, that with architecture, that's more of a correction because during the downturn, the points for architecture plummeted. So it's lovely to see those coming back up again, people coming back to architecture, which is great. The ones that are down are arts. Now, there is a suggestion in the media that perhaps students are going for the more practical jobs where they can actually get careers. I don't know. I trust students more than that. I think the students are very discerning. That's why I love working with them. I think that this downturn in arts probably was a little more due to confusion because there were significant changes in the applications procedures for arts. So that's the number one point, I would say, a little bit of confusion there. The second one that I would sort of question is that normally the arts mindset, it's a very broad mindset. It's a global mindset. They don't like to be corralled. It's the same with the communications one. Yeah. They think globally, they think big. And I think the new changes in the arts course, they're corralling the students a little bit too much. And I think the students have voted with their feet. You know, they've said, look, you know, we don't really...
people who haven't been through the process, what do you mean by that? How are they being corralled?
Well, normally the arts was a good question, actually. Normally the arts application was more general. You had more freedom in your choice. And now, for example, the one in UCD has split up into three. You have the humanities options and then you have the social science option. So it's kind of split up a little bit more. You don't have as much choice in your application. You're the same choices in your actual modules that you're doing. And I think that sort of, you know, that decision probably suited the colleges more from an academic and a systematic point of view. But I'm wondering, is it a little bit of a misread on the actual arts mindset?
So, but arts in UCD are up, and then they're down elsewhere. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
the up points to that might be that the economics course in UCD is very, very popular. Okay. So that's coming in now under the social science aspect of things. So the engineering, then we would expect that to come up because there's a big push on the STEM courses, so that's come up as well. Teaching's up as well, and that is, teaching has been rising. That's probably because of the downturn. It's a very steady job. You know, you have your salary every month, so it's very steady. But also, the lovely thing is that during the boom, the applications for teaching actually dropped. So now it's lovely to see those coming back up again now. And
so for people getting offers today, you know, you might get an offer, you might get two offers, and you might get an offer for what used to be known as diploma courses, and you might get one for what I used to know as a degree course.
Yes.
So if people get those two offers, what should they do next? They have a few days to decide what to do, I believe.
They do. You can, and that's the great thing, you can get an offer on your level 8 and you can get an offer on your level 7. I suppose in the vast majority of cases, people are going to choose their level 8. But just supposing you were offered a level 8 and you didn't actually like it, you know, you would much prefer your higher choices, but there was a level 7 course there that you really liked. I would probably advise people to go for that level 7 course, because the great thing about the system now is we have it, you can do a level 7 course and do an add-on course and make it into a level 8. So also, what's really important to bear in mind is, supposing I accepted a level 7 course now, I'm still open to my higher level 8s. If you know what I mean. So supposing I chose a level 7 and I had been offered my third choice on my level 8. Am I confusing you here, Dara?
No, I'm with you so far.
Yeah, exactly.
We're on
Bear
the edge of it, though. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So on the second round of the CAO offers, I could still be offered my second choice on my level 8. Okay, so you're not closing, what I'm trying to say is you're not closing things down by accepting a level 7.
And am I right in thinking you could accept, say, a level 7 place today and then change your mind on Thursday afternoon and go for the level 8? Before the cut-off is Friday. Is
as long as you do that before the cut-off.
Okay, right.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's Friday at like 5. I suppose we should say when the cut-off is. It's Friday evening, is it?
Yeah, it's normally 5 p.m. I haven't actually checked that, Dara, but it's the CAO closing times are normally 5 p.m.
You wouldn't want to leave it too late anyway.
No, God, no, absolutely not.
Okay. And what are the options for people who haven't got an offer? And I suppose, Aisling, you could maybe weigh in as well too, because you'll be hearing like concerns from students who may be worried that they haven't got an offer this week. Will they get one next week? First of all, I suppose just wait and see is the main message.
Definitely, because points can change in the second round, okay? And you can be offered, the points can drop and you can be offered a course in the second round. However, you might also in the intervening period have a look at the PLC colleges, the post-leaving cert courses. These are really great. These are the level 6s, levels 5s, level 6s. And with some PLC colleges, they don't go through the CAO system. Right. Okay, so you apply directly to these colleges. The great thing is that you can do a level 6 in a PLC college, and in some cases transfer to a level 7, say for example the ITs, and then go on to a level 8 in universities. But just check that out on the PLC website. There are links with different courses between PLC courses and the universities.
Okay, and Aisling, I suppose you're going to be getting questions about that sort of thing starting from today. You're also going to get a lot of questions about, I suppose accommodation will be the main issue that not prospective but first year students and first time students are going to be coming to you with at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. I think a lot of people will have seen over the last couple of weeks that the headlines, accommodation is the biggest issue at the minute facing everyone, not just first years, returning students and everything. So what we would say is don't panic. It might seem like it's the end of the world at the minute, but there are a lot of options. We are highly recommending for people to have a look at digs at the moment. It might not be a lot of people's...
Are they still happening?
They absolutely are still happening, can confirm. Yeah. But yeah, it might not be a lot of people's first choices, but they really are the kind of temporary solution at the minute for a lot of people. And they are a very good alternative. A lot of the times they're cheaper. Yeah. If you're kind of a new student coming up from the country, coming up to Dublin or to a city, you're going to be living with the local. There is a lot of benefits, and as mainly the main point being, a lot of the time they are cheaper.
And it used to be back in my day, like 2,000 years ago, but you'd stay in digs, you'd have your accommodation for the night, you'd have an evening meal provided. Is that how it works?
It would depend on the landlord themselves. Okay. So a lot of the time they'd offer maybe breakfast and not offer dinner, and they'd offer kind of you to make your own stuff in the kitchen. It would really depend on the landlord themselves. A lot of the time it's kind of open to like you and the landlord sorting it out between yourselves. As well, when it comes to weekends, a lot of these things are like negotiable with the landlord.
Now, I have a lot more specific questions on the CAO offers coming in for Andrea. I'll get back to them in a second. And if you want to add to them, just jot them down in the comments section as this Facebook Live is playing out. It should be just down there. You can't miss it. But I have a few more welfare questions to put to Aisling, first of all. So, I mean, I suppose accommodation is the main thing. What are the trends in the last couple of years? Are people being asked for exorbitant booking deposits around this time of year? What are their rights when they're going into like a new accommodation situation?
So this is a tricky one. Like if you're dealing with a landlord rather than like private student accommodation, there is no set kind of price for a deposit. They can kind of ask you for anything. In general, it would be a month's rent in advance. That would be the most common kind of price, which would be, you would hope, between $450, $550 in Dublin anyway. I'm not too sure if these prices would be the same in say Cork, Galway, Limerick, all the different areas would have their different prices and their different accommodation issues. So I'm kind of just speaking from a Dublin perspective, I suppose. I know it is an issue nationwide, absolutely, it really is. But yeah, with deposits, there is no set limit or set price that landlords can or should ask for. It's up to them, really. Unfortunately.
I'm looking more generally at people heading off to college, perhaps for the first time.
Yep.
What's the grant situation? Can people still apply for Susie at this point?
They can, yeah. So if people are finding themselves in a situation where they think they need to apply for Susie, if you head onto the Susie website, they provide a really, really handy facility called the eligibility reckoner. So they'll ask you a few questions about your financial situation, and they'll basically summate whether they think you are eligible or not, and then you'll go through the grant process if they think you are. A lot of people will have been applying for Susie since about April, so if you're applying now, you will kind of be bottom of the pile, so it might take a while to get through the process, because it is a very long process, as every situation is completely different. There's no kind of across the board situation, so it will take a while, but if it's telling you that you're eligible, absolutely apply for it.
And there are other grants too that people might not be too familiar with.
Yeah.
How can I find out more about them?
So I think most institutions will have financial information on their website. So say there's new bursaries this year, such as the 1916 bursary, that a lot of people might not know about. So people really should have a look into them, because there's a lot of kind of specific things that people could be eligible for. And a lot of institutions will also have financial advisors, or they can contact their welfare officer, and they'll point you in the right direction of where to go if you are finding yourself in a situation where you're struggling. Yeah.
Okay, and so what sort of help can the welfare officer in the students' union actually provide? They can't do everything for you.
No.
But in terms of, getting used to this new environment, they can let you know what's happening, I suppose.
Yeah.
Help with budgeting was going to be important. People could be moving away from home for the first time.
For sure.
Could find themselves in an Aldi or Lidl for the first time with an empty trolley, wondering what they should spend their money on.
Yeah, exactly. Firstly, to touch on your kind of first point there, the Students' Union is there to help you with absolutely everything. Each union has different positions, so say mine is welfare and equality, so that's quite a specific remit, but you also have an education or academic affairs officer who can help you with all things exams and your course and everything, and then you have maybe engagement or clubs and societies or placement issues. So there's we have specific kind of things that you could come to us for. For myself, we kind of act as a signposting system, so you can come to me with any issue, whether it be kind of accommodation, finance, sexual, physical or mental health, and if you come to me, I'll do everything I can to help you, but I'll also point you in the right direction of maybe a professional who can help. So it's kind of like a signposting system. And then when it comes to budgeting, that's a big one. Especially, if you're coming up from the country and Mammy's been doing the shopping for you the whole time. It's a bit scary when you walk in there and you're like, what do I do?
You could do the whole course in that, couldn't you?
You could. Yeah. But I think meal planning's a big one. So you're not just wandering into Aldi and throwing a load of stuff into the trolley and then coming home and be like, there is no meal here. This is just a load of random things.
Crackers.
This is just like random stuff. So meal planning's a good one before you head off to do your shopping, and not blowing your whole week's budget on a takeaway.
Okay, it's pretty easy to research that.
Definitely.
Half an hour on Google would be grand.
There you go.
A few more very specific CAO questions as well. And I've been asked to read out that the closing date for the receipt of acceptance of CAO Round 1 offers is 5:15 this coming Friday. So I guess you wouldn't leave it till like 5:05.
No, the problem, the thing that you're always worried about is our IT problems, problems with your computer or their computer. So please don't leave it until 5:15. Another point is as well that, if you're doing a course that has modules, like some of the modules are more popular than others, so they'll go first. So get in there, choose the modules that you want as quickly as possible.
Okay. Now here does this specific questions. This is, sorry, it's quite long. Give me a second.
Sure.
So this is a person who got 509 points in their Leaving Cert, more than they expected. And they got offered their first choice, which is primary school teaching in DCU. But now they're thinking they might have preferred secondary teaching and gone with arts in DCU. So the basic question is there any way of becoming a secondary school teacher after studying to be a primary school teacher? So normally I think the case is you study something else first, then you do a short course in secondary.
Yes.
But this person, I guess, wants to do both. I'm not sure if that's possible.
Okay, it just seems from this question, Dara, that this person isn't quite clear on their career choice. The thing about teaching is that you've also got the teaching council involved as well. So she could do her primary school teaching. I suppose the question at that stage is, what would she teach at second level? Obviously, you've got Irish. She would have to do a master's in education, but she'd also have to check with the teaching council to see is that route acceptable. Now, probably what I would advise her to do would be, she has been given this course. It's a great course. She wants to do teaching anyway. Perhaps try it for a year. You know, if it doesn't work out, she'll be then clear at the end of that year and say, right, I really don't want to do primary school teaching. I want to go back and do secondary school teaching. The only thing that I would alert her to then is that she would have to pay her first year fees if she's repeating. But it's probably worth it, because then at least at the end of that year she's clear.
It so maybe teaching council should be her first protocol.
I think so. I think so, to look up, to check with the teaching council and just see what their reading of that is.
Another brief one in here. What are the chances of second round entry into a course if you're just 1 point lower than required this time around? Pretty good.
Yeah, well, it depends on the course, you know, and the restrictions of the course, but definitely, you know, it's good, I would say.
There's an interesting question here. So my daughter got 734 points in the Leaving Cert this year, so that came as a surprise to me, but this person has done the HPAT as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Which is another exam you do when you're hoping to do medicine.
Absolutely.
I learned so much this morning when studying for this. So it says the cut-off points, so she got her third choice, which is dentistry in Trinity, but the cut-off points in Trinity Medicine are 731 and 730 for RCSI Medicine. With the HPAT, she got 734. So we're wondering why she didn't get her first or second choice.
Sometimes when the points go above a certain point, and the colleges have more applicants than places, and they all have more or less the same points, a system kicks in which is random selection. So they randomly select students for the places, and you know, they figure that's the most fair system. However, I would say to the student to kind of hang on until the second round and just see, is that she's still kind of in with the shot, and just see how the second round goes. She could also contact CAO if she wanted to just check up on that application. Some more questions are coming in as this goes out. My daughter got the course that she wanted and she accepted the offer online. Does this mean that she's now enrolled, or does she still need to apply directly to the university? She is now, if she has accepted her place into the university, she is within the university system. However, there is a registration system to do as well, so there's more work to do, unfortunately. But they don't worry, the college will contact her and will tell her exactly what actually this is more Ashling's property department.
The college will be in contact. You'll receive a lovely letter in the post very soon, which will detail kind of the information to do with fees and what to do kind of after that.
Just a couple more questions. We'll be finishing up shortly. So I'm not sure there's an easy solution to this. What can you suggest to do if a student has the points but not the maths requirement for a particular course?
The maths requirement, that was a little bit of an issue, people failing maths. There are some technical courses that do entrance exams, you know, just maths. But in some cases, unfortunately, there's not much you can do. Now, in that case, what you can do, Dara, is next year you can repeat just maths. You know, you can repeat that single subject, and then you can use it for an entry requirement, but you can't use it for points. So say supposing I got 450 points this year, failed my maths, but you know, I really want to do something like engineering.
You can bank the 450.
Exactly. Yeah. I can sit those maths this year, but no matter what points I get next year, I'll still have 450, but I'll have those maths as an entry requirement. But do check with the colleges and just check to see, are they doing maths entrance exams for those who didn't get the required entrance result.
Okay, and just finally for both of you, I suppose we've got a few questions in along the theme of, is it possible, if you get an offer that's maybe your third or fourth choice and the same college also offers your first choice, could you take up the third or fourth choice, go into the college and possibly transfer a course once you're in there? Does that happen often?
It's maybe we both take that. I'll answer and you see, Ashley. Yeah. It's basically what they call an internal transfer. There is no guarantee that you can do that. It depends on so many things. It depends on your results in the year. It depends on the amount of people that they have in second year. They might even meet you, talk to you, interview you. But there is absolutely no guarantee. Even if I'm in the same college, that would you agree with that, Aisling, that I can make a transfer? Yeah.
The same, yeah.
It's a bit risky, is it?
Risky, yeah. If you kind of talk to your course head and a few people at the top, they'll be able to direct you within that, but there really is no guarantee. I suppose a lot of people do find when they go in with that intention that they actually love their course and will continue on with it, especially if they're in the right university or institution that they want to be in. They'll find that they actually find it good. I love it.
That happens a lot.
It does happen quite frequently. But definitely, if it's still what they want to do, then you'd have to kind of talk to the people at the top, and they'll help you out with that.
Okay, we've one last question in, so we'll make this the last one. My daughter missed her first choice by 2 points. If she accepts her second choice now, and then her first choice drops in round 2, would she still be eligible for her first choice? The first choice was Business, Economics and Social Studies in Trinity, which is very popular. That's from Agnes.
I absolutely, she can. And just very quickly as well, I just want to throw in that students, if they're not happy with the result, they can go in and review their scripts in school. Just, they would have a review form that they got with the results, fill that in, contact their school, they can review their scripts. They can even ask for a recheck. They can ask for their scripts to be re-examined and re-corrected. You have to pay for that service. You don't have to look at the review. I sent Paula a link. The Institute of Guidance Counsellors did this brilliant student guide, and Paula's putting it up on your website. So they run through all the reviews, all the rechecks. It's brilliant. Just click in there and they'll make it very clear what you have to do, just if you want to recheck your results.
Great. I imagine we'll probably be able to post that in the comment section. Yeah, great. So I suppose if things are being rechecked, though, and the CAO offers are coming in at the moment, there's obviously a lag between when the check results come back.
There are, and just supposing, for example, I go in and review my script, and my points are, something went wrong with the marking scheme or whatever, I alert the Department of Education. They will award me those extra points that I deserve, and then I will be offered that course that I deserve, so that they'll alert the CAO, and the CAO will then offer me the course.
That may not happen until the course may have started at that point.
The course may have started. That could come in the middle of September, end of September, even come in the middle of October. Right. So it means that you're starting a little bit late. For some colleges, that's okay. For other colleges, you might have to talk to the college about that.
Okay.
But theoretically, this is your course, and you can start it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, plenty of great advice there over the last 20 minutes or so. Okay. Andre Harper, career guidance expert, and Aisling Fagan, the incoming DCUSU Vice Vice President for Welfare and Equality. Thanks very much for your time this morning, and thanks very much for your questions. This video will repeat in a loop for all time on our Facebook page. Thank you.